everyone, it's Click here again, and today I have something pretty cool. Here we have Dark of the Moon Megatron. So, this is one that I've wanted to build for quite a while now. Like, a long while, actually. And, yeah, I never actually got to doing it because I was almost afraid to do it because of just how daunting it would be. But, recently there has been a Dark of the Moon challenge going on around Instagram with a bunch of other builders. So, it kind of gave me motivation to actually try it out, and I think it came out really well. Nevertheless, it was a huge pain in the butt to make. Honestly, this was probably one of my hardest builds yet. Especially just trying to figure out how to make it transform. I really didn't want to make it cheat like the Studio Series did. So everything transforms the way it relatively should. This becomes the torso, and these become the legs. So I am very happy with how that turned out. We'll get to the transformation in a bit. But yeah, I think he turned out really well. He's very long. Definitely my biggest transformer yet. You just see how long he actually is. Got all 10 wheels, 5 on each side. They all do roll. Actually, it rolls surprisingly nicely for how long it is. You can see you got these spiky things here. These katana pieces, because I think they look pretty good as those. Also got some sort of spiky things up here as well, because they were on there at some point in a couple pictures that I found, so I was like, why not put them in? Obviously, you can see you got this like tarp thing. Yeah, I'll get to that in a little bit. Got these chains going up that kind of hold it down, kind of like the Studio Series did. Yeah, one of the things that made this extremely difficult to make was the wheel placement. Just the way they have to go in robot mode. I'll get into that a little bit later, but that was really challenging. And, I mean, it does look a little messy, especially like in here, but the real truck is pretty messy as it is, so I think it sort of fits. I guess it's kind of an excuse, but... And the tan color is honestly not that great. Probably should be a little darker, a little more greenish, but I don't think there was a really much better option that had this many pieces in that color. Especially these hinge pieces, because I really needed those. You come to the other side, same thing pretty much. Here's a back view as well. And for a couple of size comparisons, here's Dark of the Moon Dino. He absolutely dwarfs Dino. Here he is with Prime. And I think they actually scale really well together. Actually, I have a minifigure right here, so you can kind of see how they scale both of them, which I think is pretty close. You can just see how much longer Megatron is than Prime. It's pretty crazy. Now, this thing here, you can't take this off, of course. I actually almost prefer it off, to be honest. So, you can just take that off and then put these chains back where they were. You just attach onto a stud right there. And kind of rotate them to make them a little tighter so they don't constantly rattle around as much. So, I think this actually still looks really good. You can see I got the tanker to be pretty smooth. Yeah, I actually think I prefer this. But yeah, you can see how that looks without that. And now it's time to get to the crazy stuff, the transformation. So, I had to pull back the camera quite a bit just to get everything in frame here, but so first we're going to do the arms. So what we're going to do is basically take this whole thing and lift this up, and this will kind of just sit there for now. And then you're going to detach this right there, and this whole thing will come out on a ball joint. I don't know if you can see that right there. There's a ball joint there. And then what you're going to do, there's actually quite a bit that goes on in the arms here, is you're going to put this back here, fold this up. This is obviously the hand. rotate this around, bring this panel around like that, and these will fold in a little bit along the sides like that. Then what we're going to do is we're actually going to take both these wheels here, and they're both going to hinge in. Actually, before we do the other one, you're going to shift this in and down, and this one will also rotate in. It's very tight for some reason. And there we have those. That gets the wheels in the right spot. This piece right here is going to rotate just like that, and then kind of cover up those wheels a little bit. This is going to come down, and there you pretty much have one of the arms done. We're going to basically do the same thing on this side. This is where it gets just a little awkward because it's so long. So, again, detach here. Just like that. And swing this out. Rotate this piece. Then you bring up the other hand. Rotate that around. And then again, fold in these panels. Right there. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to shift this in and swing this around. Swing this one around. Same thing here, rotate. And kind of lay it against the wheels. And there we basically have two of the arms done. So what we're going to do for the legs is you're going to, well, first detach these chains here. And they'll just kind of dangle there. You can shift these pieces out. And this actually tabs in, so you're going to untab that. And then bring these out. This will come up. Also detach here. That kind of separates the legs, or holds them together in truck mode. And it'll just split in half. You can kind of see like a cross section there. That's pretty cool, actually. But this is pretty crazy here. So first, what we're gonna do, this, if it hasn't detached already, you're gonna detach this, and we're going to kind of pull this out. It tabs in here, and you're gonna lift it up, and lift up here. You see there's an arm here, and this will allow you to kind of swing it up and onto the thigh here. And then what we're going to do is bring this up, rotate it on that clip there, bring it out there for now, and work on the feet here. This is pretty interesting as well. So this is going to come up, this will fold around and come down. For now, bring this down as well. And this is actually the foot here. So you're going to bring out these toes. And then coming in here, you're going to rotate this around and then bring it up through the other side. And then fold that down like that. And you're actually going to have it at an angle kind of like this. So it was like that. You're going to bring that up. And then what we're going to do is take these wheels here. They're all on a big set of hinges. You're just going to take this, rotate it all the way around, shift this over, and then this will kind of just sit along here. You're going to shift this wheel down, and then this one will go back like this. And then this will fold around, this will fold in, and then it will fold again on this side, just to get those wheels in the right spots. And then this piece of the tanker will kind of collapse into the leg there. You can then rotate this to kind of align with the foot. And this is going to hinge around. And it will sort of collapse on this side of the leg here. And you're also going to bring this panel around like this. Forgot to do that. Hinge this. And there we pretty much have one of the legs done. It's kind of facing down, but we'll fix that in a second here. Actually, let's do that now. So we're going to want these on the other side of this panel, which is a little tedious, but it's not bad. So do it on this side. And then bring this all the way around. It is pretty sturdy, so it's not like that bad to do this, surprisingly. You can see nothing's absolutely falling apart. It's just a little clunky, but the end result is worth it. So then we're going to, now that we have these on the right side, I'll actually show you from a different angle how to do this leg. So get these chains out of the way. So bring this panel up, and then you're going to untab this here, and then take this big thing out of the way so you can swing this up. You can kind of see this here. Swing it around. So that it kind of wraps around the leg there a little bit. You can then rotate this whole section. Bring this piece up and rotate it. And lay it there. Take this piece. Bring this back. This will come down. And then the foot will come up. Rotate. Fold down, bring up the other toe, and we're going to take this whole thing again, rotate this up, so that's against the foot here, shift this back, hinge this around, and wrap it under the leg. And this gives it a good base for a foot, which is nice. And then hinge this around and to the back of the foot. Just like that. Collapse that in. And I forgot to shift this back and this one down. Just a little bit. It's not really necessary, but I like to do it. And there we pretty much have the feet all done. And you can see he's taking shape. So, next we're going to do the torso. So this is where it gets pretty crazy. So you can see we kind of have the front of the truck. It's kind of a mess right now, but we'll fix that. So this is going to come up. And these two things were like this. You're going to bring these down, and that will give enough clearance to kind of hinge this whole thing down through it. And then what you're going to do, split these windshields here, and you're going to take this whole section and will come out, and there's his head. And then you're going to rotate this on a ball joint. And then we're actually going to pass it through here again, but only here. So this will kind of feed through. And then you're going to lay this, kind of the hood of the truck. You're kind of going to lay this, so that'll be kind of where the abs would be. These will lay flat against that. And bring these swords down. and we'll deal with those later. Bring these arms out of the way. So we can come back here. And actually what we're going to do first is we're going to get these swords out of the way as well. This will hinge back, and this will actually clip in to this right here, just like that. Hear that there? And that should hold everything fairly well into place. So then you can see how things kind of they kind of just sit like that. Then we can take this roof here, and it'll kind of slide under this ball joint. Oh, it's kind of dark in there, you can't really see, but it'll kind of secure itself right there, which is nice. You can then hinge these back a little bit. Then we're actually going to bring this ab section right here, and this will slot really nicely in between there. And kind of get these smokestacks out of the way. This will come down, hinge down, and it'll actually tab in right here. And then you can rotate the head around like that. These little things will hinge in, and then you can angle them just a little bit. So again, hinge that, and then angle it. And then we're going to take these chains and shift these pieces up on that bar there. And then you can actually tab it in up at the top right there. And you can rotate it to give it some tightness so it's not dangling. Same over here. Shift this up. You can see it's kind of wrapped around his leg here. And then tab it in up here. And there you have those chains on there. You can really do whatever you want with those. Now, lastly, we're going to come to the back here and take these smokestacks, rotate them all the way around, and then rotate them again like this. I like to give them a little angle. I don't exactly know what the back of this looks like on the CGI model, but I saw a couple pictures where they had smokestacks, so I was like, why not? And do the same over here. Rotate. I have to get the armor out of the way. And there we have that. Now it's just a matter of straightening everything out as it should. And here we have Dark of the Moon Megatron in his robot mode. And this guy is quite the beast. This is definitely my biggest Transformer. Well, he at least has the most parts, I'll say that. Yeah, I'm definitely very glad I tried to make this guy. Very happy with the results. This is definitely one of, if not the hardest designs that I've tried to make in LEGO. I really didn't want to cheat like the Studio Series did, just because I'm weird that way. So, I'm very glad that I got this to be at the actual front of the truck, and how everything kind of collapses into the torso pretty nicely. You can kind of see in there a little bit. Yeah, he's got pretty much no backpack whatsoever, which is really nice. Here he is from the back. So you can see that. It's pretty clean. Again, I don't really know all the details of the back, so I couldn't find any consistent pictures of that. So yeah, I kind of winged it, but I think it looks pretty good. You see, it is a little messy on the back here. You got these big things. I don't think they stand out that much. They kind of blend in. You can see he's got his two different hands. He's got one very movie Megatron-esque hand, and then over here he's got this claw. Yeah, and one of the things, again, like I was talking about earlier, that made this really difficult to make was the wheel placement. How he has 3 wheels on his legs, 2 wheels on his arms. The front wheels of the truck actually, at least from what I can tell from the transformation, the front wheels like just slide from the front of the truck all the way to the back, which, yeah, that does not seem very practical for Lego. So I had to cheat a little bit with that, having these two come together to form these, but and yeah, one wheel coming down here. But I think it still looks very good. Very happy with this. You see, you got the chains kind of going across his chest there. I really wanted to get that in. It's kind of a last minute thing, but I think it looks good. And bringing this thing back in, you see it's got some holes in it. I just cut some holes, but yeah, you really don't need this. I actually honestly prefer it without it, but I'll show you what it looks like anyway. So what you do is you just head through this first. And then you kind of bring it over like this. You kind of got something like that. And there you have Megatron with his cloak thing. Yeah, I think it looks actually surprisingly good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just kind of threw this together last minute. I just cut some holes into a piece of fabrics, and yeah, I mean, it looks the part. And as far as articulation goes for this guy, it's actually very good. You see, for the arms, you got a ball joint right there. You actually got another ball joint in the kind of the torso area, so you can get like a weird extra joint there. I got a ball joint in here. So you have that. You got another joint here, ball joint at the wrist, and this is just a mess of hinges, so you can open that, get all sorts of poses here with the hand. Same over here, and the head is on the same old robot hand claw thing. Legs are on ball joints, of course. This can be moved out of the way if you want to get some very high poses, or you could just move this one out of the way so you can do that or something. Knees, ball joints, so you can get all sorts of poses here. This whole front of the foot is kind of hinged, and he's also got toe articulation, I guess. I mean, you can get some pretty cool looking poses out of him. Here's how Starscream and Barricade scale with him. Yep, Starscream is still probably too small. Here he is with a minifigure, and the Studio Series Revenge of the Fallen Megatron. And finally, here you have him with Optimus Prime. And yeah, I think Optimus Prime is too big. Definitely. But, I mean, they're very close. You can extend his legs a little bit to get him a little more height. So, there are options. And I did make him his shotgun. And yeah, that's pretty simple. But all it does is this bar will clip into his thumb. That's honestly the best way I could get it to be positioned right in his hand. And yeah, there's a shotgun. His ball joints are a little weak, but you can't get him to hold it. So you can also actually store it on his back. There's a little clip right here that will just go right into here, like that. So you can kind of have it hanging off his back to give it that kind of look, if you'd like. Well, that is about it for this video, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed it. This is, again, one of my favorite Transformers that I've made so far. He's up there with Prime, so I really do hope you enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll be doing instructions for this guy. I mean, big Transformers like this, they take a long time to make instructions, so it might be a little while if I do. But, nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video.